Hello, everyone, and welcome to CosmoProf's Facebook Live. Today, you have myself as the host, Darlene Cedapan, and Sigourney Nunez, our nail artist, who's going to be showing us awesome holiday looks. Sig, tell us about the looks you'll be showing us today, and do we have any fun giveaways?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Today, I have three super cute, easy to do candy cane inspired looks. The first look I'm going to show you today is a really super easy to do Dotacure candy cane that's going to frame the nail. I'm also going to show you some line work that is really representative of that peppermint aesthetic. And then, of course, some really cute candy canes. What I'm going to do first, and just to save some time, what I've started with is I've already prepped the nail with our gel color base coat. And then I'm going to go ahead and add 2 coats of Tinsel Little Star. This is our gorgeous silver shade from the holiday collection. And so again, this nail tip is already prepped with 1 coat of base. And just as a pro tip, when you are working with shades that have shimmers, what I like to do first is cap the free edge so that we don't have any interruption in the color application. So I'm going to go ahead and do some really beautiful, thin, smooth, even coverage of Tinsel Little Star. And there you have a gorgeous silver coat. And I'm going to cure this for 30 seconds.
Thank you so much, Sigourney. I am loving Tinsel Little Star. It's the perfect little pewter kind of silverish metallic shade. Perfect for the holidays, but also even great for when we go into January. You can still wear a lot of these metallic shades.
Absolutely. That was some of the inspiration behind some of the looks that I did today. I didn't want it to be overtly in your face, green and red Christmas nails. I want it to be a little bit more wearable so that if you keep the nails on a little bit longer, it's not going to be kind of annoying because it's too festive. So super muted and wearable. Once I cured 2 coats of Tinsel Little Star, what I'm going to do next is take a dotting tool. Today I'm using OPI's Gel Color Artist Series dotting tool, and it's dual-ended, so it has a smaller tip on one end and a bigger one on the other. And today I'm going to use the smaller end. And what I've also done is prepare a palette. My palette is simply OPI's Expert Touch wraps, and on here I have a little bit of Alpine Snow, which is OPI's True White, as well as Ready for the Holidays, which is our beautiful cream red shade from our Shine Bright collection. And this look in particular, let me just show you as reference. It's going to be doing a nod to the framed nail trend. And what that really means is adding nail art around the basically circumference area of the nail. So we're going to add a little bit here by the cuticle on the sidewall and then at the free edge and sidewall. So I'm going to load up my daughter.
Let's see it. And we know you are the dotting queen, Sig. So I love that you've inspired this nail art with using a daughter. So it's really easy for everyone to do, no matter what level you are.
Yeah, that's one thing I really love about the daughter tool is that even though the nail art technique is simple to execute, the designs can be truly versatile once you figure out how to use this tool. So what I've done first is add a couple dots of Ready for the Holidays, and I'm just going to do a quick flash cure. What flash curing does is it ensures that it locks your gel in place and it doesn't move. And I'm only going to cure for about 5 to 10 seconds. So what I've done already is I've loaded my daughter with some white, which is Alpine Snow. And now I'm going to go ahead and sandwich it in between where the red dots are to add that candy cane look. Keeping it nice and easy. And now, as you can see, that was done in seconds. This is a really great look for those who just want to execute some quick and easy nail art in the salon if you're still open. And so now that that's already perfectly placed, I'm going to go ahead and cure this for a full 30 seconds.
Amazing. Sig, what about for our other DIYers? You know, sometimes we might not want to do it in gel. Is this look easily able to be done with nail lacquer?
That's a really great question. This look, because again, we are using a daughter that is so user-friendly, this is a perfect tip for people who like to do their own nails at home. Super easy to execute. And then just as an idea, if you don't have a daughter tool, you can use something like a bobby pin or the back of an eraser or something like that as your tool to use to execute this look. Great question.
Thank you so much. No, it's perfect because, you know, sometimes, yes, for our clients, we want to give them gel, but then also sometimes if we're doing it on ourselves, you know, we want to have nail lacquer. So I love that this look is so versatile for both systems.
Absolutely. Once I've cured this for 30 seconds, now I'm just simply going to apply some gel color top coat. Of course, to ensure wearability for up to 2 weeks, make sure you cap the free edge. And then you get that nice glossy look and cure for 30 seconds.
While it's curing, Sig, do you mind letting us know again the shades that you use for this look?
Yes, great question. So the base shade for that super cute dot candy cane look, this was Tinsel Tinsel Little Star. This is our beautiful silver shade from the collection. Then for the candy cane, I used our True White Alpine Snow. This is a classic, of course. And then let me introduce you to Ready for the Holidays. This is our gorgeous red cream shade from our Shine Bright collection that you're going to see me use throughout every single nail art look. This is, I'm going to say, probably one of my favorite shades from this Shine Bright collection because, of course, what's holiday nail art without a little bit of red in there, right?
And you know I love my reds. All year round, actually.
Once you take your cured nail from the OPI LED light, what I'm going to do is take some NAS 99, which is our isopropyl alcohol based liquid, and a lint-free wipe. Saturate that to ensure I'm getting rid of that inhibition layer. If this was the client, this is not the last step. What I would do next is finish off the surface with some OPI Pro Spa cuticle oil. But there you have the first look. Super easy, quick to execute, dotty candy canes.
What a perfect first look. And we're not even done yet. We have 2 more looks to go. So can you show us the second look we'll be doing?
Absolutely. This is going to be our line work peppermint candy cane. I added a little bit of pink and gold to make it just a little bit more feminine. For those of you who are intimidated by line work, so am I. You might think, no, that's not true because she has line work here, but I'm going to show you a couple of pro tips that I learned from Darlene. And I hope this inspires you all to recreate the looks. So what I've done to prep is this is our nail tip with OPI gel color base coat. And then I'm going to use Snow Falling for You. This is our gorgeous blush velvet shade. And similar to the application with Tinsel Tinsel Little Star, this is also a shimmer shade. And so what I'm going to want to do is ensure that I'm capping the free edge first so that I don't have any interruption with the color application. And then I'm going to start a little below the cuticle area and push up and pull down. And then paint on one side, then the other. If this were a client, ensuring that I am not getting any gel on her surrounding skin. Okay, then you get that beautiful baby blush pink and cure this for 30 seconds.
Sig, I am loving this baby blush pink base that you've put on because not everyone wants to have, you know, your typical white and red candy cane look, right? I love that this is kind of a little bit more feminine and cutesy and fun.
Thank you so much. That's exactly what I was going for, so I'm glad that it was captured. Once you do your first coat of snow falling for you, go ahead and repeat that for your full opacity. And then this is what 2 coats of snow falling for you looks like. Again, that gorgeous blush pink tone. Next, I'm going to use the same palette I used earlier, but this time I've added a color. The color that I've added is this gold Slays Me. This is going to be our gorgeous gold shimmer in the Shine Bright collection. And I'm going to be using that to create some line work. But I'm also going to be creating a custom shade, which is this creamy pink color that I did using Alpine Snow and Ready for the Holidays, and I'll show you how to do that. For this look, don't get too hung up on placement, just kind of whatever feels right in terms of the line work, and also depending on how much space you have on the nail based on the length, okay? But what I'm going to do first is start with the placement of the red line in the center, just to kind of have that be sort of like my starting point, and then move out from there. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about how to prep your brush when you're doing line work. This is going to be my palette. Again, I have this Gold Slays Me, Alpine Snow, and Ready for the Holidays. This is a detail brush from OPI. This is one of my tried and true brushes. One pro tip that I have for you is this is a brush that I use for my gel color looks only. I do not use this for nail lacquer. I would not use this for infinite shine. I want to just make sure that as soon as the gel color hits these bristles, it's kind of just going to get used to the tackiness of the gel color. So this is my dedicated gel color brush. I would recommend to have a separate brush for any looks that you would do in a different system. Next, what I'm going to do is I have my Ready for the Holidays on my palette. And I'm simply going to make sure that all the bristles are fully loaded with color. But if you can tell, I'm also pulling away so that my bristles get thin. Because what we don't want to happen is we do not want for the color to kind of pool at the very tip, because then you won't have as much control of your application. So rather you want to ensure that your tip and your color is thin throughout, more like this. Does that make sense?
That definitely makes a lot of sense. And I'm loving all of these pro tips, because you're really making it seem like nail art, and especially line work, is not that difficult once you have all of these tips under your belt.
The other thing too is when you're working with gel color, something that I learned recently as well is what helps too is to take off the inhibition layer on your base shade, so that you get a little bit more play time with any of the line work that you're doing. And it doesn't kind of like, it won't actually melt, but it'll just kind of get like sad. And you want the lines to stay crisp and sharp as possible. And removing the inhibition layer is going to help do that. Just want to make sure I'm in frame here. Grab my palette. And the other thing, Darlene, that you taught me is if this was an actual client, what I would do is actually rotate her hand or the client's hand around so that I'm not twisting my hand or hurting my wrist. Because remember, our bodies are what help us make that money. So we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and ensuring that whenever we're doing nails, that we're keeping our ergonomics and proper posture in mind. So now I'm going to start at the center of the nail, and I'm just going to put a dot, just kind of super tiny dot as like my reference, and now I'm just going to connect it. And just kind of pulling the color. And again, what I really love about gel color is that it's super forgiving, because if there aren't any mistakes made, you can easily wipe away, nor harm, no foul. And now I'm just going to thicken the line a little bit. And pulling. And for me, I don't know about you, Darlene, but once I really like a line, I will immediately lock this in place by flash curing so that I don't have to redo this ever again.
I love flash curing. I totally agree with you. That's the first thing that I do. I want to save my work so that I know it's not going to move and go anywhere. How long are you flash curing for, Sig?
Honestly, right now I just cured for like 2 seconds, and that's what I will say about curing for 2 seconds is if I were to take a lint-free wipe and wipe away at the nail, it might remove that line. 2 seconds is not going to be enough for it to completely make it stick there, but it's not going to make it move, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. I am a 2-second flash cure as well.
Nice. I wonder where I learned that from.
You're so cute. I love it. And your lines are so straight, Sig. You make it look so easy.
Watch them come out all crooked right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't jinx yourself. You know what I am noticing too, Sig, is that when you hold your brush, I see that you're holding your brush really parallel and you're kind of like letting the brush do the work for you. Is that true?
Yes, that is a Darlene 101 line work trick. For those of you who are watching, Darlene and I obviously work really closely together. I've learned so much from her. And my aesthetic is really more organic, flowy. Hers is very like geometric, straight lines. And one of the tricks that I learned from her is if you do put your brush parallel to the nail, meaning, let me go ahead and show you, this way, that's parallel versus say going perpendicular. When you're doing line work, that is going to help ensure that your lines come out straighter. So Darlene, girl, thank you so much for taking my nail art to the next level with that pro tip, girl.
You're the best. I think the combination of your nail art style, my nail art style, put together is just perfect. You get a little bit of both.
Yes. For adding glitter to the nail, yeah. 1 second. Let me just finish this real quick. What I'm actually doing is I took a little bit. I actually didn't take any Ready for the Holiday. What happened was I had Ready for the Holiday on my brush. I did not clean it. I simply just started mixing with my Alpine Snow. And I'm going to just keep mixing to get a really super cute baby pink creamy color to add to the peppermint look. But Darlene, do you want to go ahead and take that one on glitter?
Yes, so we got a question about adding glitter or adding any accent glitter to the nail. And whenever you're working with glitter, personally, my favorite thing to do, and say you can let me know if you agree, I always add the glitter last, right? So I want to get the opacity with all of my other cream shades, all of my metallic shades first. Once we get that base color really solid and cured onto the nail, then I like to use the glitter more so as an accent or as a topper and adding it later.
Yes, absolutely. I would agree as well. Me personally and my style is I don't use a lot of loose glitters in my nail art, but rather I would like to incorporate glitters in the base shades if they are a shimmer color. So for example here, not necessarily a glitter, but a shimmer. So finding shades that have sort of that unique finish to add a little extra shine to the look. So all I'm doing now is adding this custom shade using Ready for the Holidays. Oops, there you go. Much better. It would help if you guys can see. And continuing to add a little bit of that line work. And like I mentioned earlier, placement is just going to be whatever feels right. And just continuing to add those pink lines, looking beautiful. And I'm going to go ahead and flash cure this.
Great question. We just got a question, Sig, on whether we can mix lacquer shades. So we see that you're doing this with gel color, and you are our nail lacquer queen. So can you let us know, are we able to do that?
So yes, you can mix lacquer shades. However, remember that lacquer does have solvents that evaporate. So when you are going to mix lacquer shades, you're going to do the same process that I have now. but you're gonna have to work super fast. Otherwise, your custom shade is gonna become goopy and it's gonna dry really quickly. So what I would recommend is your palette is gonna look like this, but with 10 times more the color blobs, because you're gonna want to recreate your custom mix every time you notice that the mix starts to dry up. Does that help?
So helpful, Sig. Actually, fun fact, I don't think I've ever mixed my nail lacquers together because OPI has so many nail lacquer shades. I've always been able to find the shade.
Yeah, with over 200 colors of the portfolio, like you probably don't need to, but if sometimes you don't feel like reaching into your stash to find that perfect blue, just make it. All right, so what I've done is flash cured, and I'm just gonna continue now with this gold slays me. This is a really good example of what not to do. I did not properly load my brush, and by that all I mean is there's just too much product, and I don't want my line to come out too thick, so I'm just gonna thin it out here a little bit and then continue on with the application. Remember to keep the brush parallel. I think we should call these Darlene-isms.
This gold really is slaying me right now, Sig. I think it's the perfect touch to your look.
Yeah, I actually, when I was doing some research for these looks, I literally Googled like pink and gold Christmas aesthetic. And apparently Kylie Jenner was the one who made this really trendy. So in a way, Kylie Jenner inspired this look.
I love that. And you're curing that now. How long are you curing this for? Is it a flash cure again?
Nope, so I'm really happy with the application. Great, thank you for clarifying. All I'm doing now is doing a full 30-second cure to lock everything in place, making sure everything is properly cured, and then I will go ahead and add some top coat after that. So what I'm doing now is just adding some gel color top coat to seal the look. And of course, remember, you always want to make sure to cap the free edge for longer wear. Just love how shiny this looks. And now I'm going to cure this for 30 seconds.
How important is a top coat, Sig? Do we always have to use a top coat? Because, you know, sometimes, let's say with nail lacquer, not everybody likes to use a top coat with nail lacquer if we're like trying to get out the door really quickly. But with gel, do we have to have a top coat?
I would absolutely recommend not to skip the top coat, especially when it comes to gel. Products are designed to work together, and they're designed to work like a sandwich. So you have your base, your color, and your top. And what that does is it ensures wearability and also ensures that shine. So clients come to us for obviously a professional application service, but they're also looking for long wear and that true shine. So without that top coat, you're kind of skipping out on one of the reasons why your customers keep coming back to you. So I would absolutely would not recommend to skip your top coat.
I love that. It actually kind of reminds me of, you know, when you are doing your makeup, for example, and you've done all this hard work, and let's say you kind of skip your setting spray, you know, you want it to last long, right?
Exactly. But to your point earlier, when we're talking about, for example, nail lacquer, it really depends on what the point of you painting your nails was. Is it just to get some quick color, throw it on fast, or do you want to wear this color for more than 7 days and put a top coat on? So it's really what is the objective of why you're applying it, and then you can determine whether or not you want to skip on things, depending on how long you want to wear it for. So what I've done is added our gel color top coat, and then I took again our NAS 99 isopropyl alcohol based liquid and a lint-free wipe, remove the inhibition layer, and you have this really shiny, super cute line work peppermint look. Again, if this were a real client, if that was not the last step, what I would do is add OPI Pro Spa cuticle oil to make sure her hands are nice and moisturized before she leaves your chair.
Sig, I could use some OPI Pro Spa cuticle oil right now. It has been so dry this winter. I just feel my skin, my nails, my cuticles, and I like to keep it next to my computer or next to my nightstand. Just, put a couple little drops.
I totally agree, especially now that we're all, doing a lot of preventative hand washing because of COVID, and now that we're in winter, our hands are just extra, extra dry. And for that reason, on my TikTok, Nail Art by Sig, I actually do a series of like daily reminders of applying on your cuticle oil to ensure that your hands are moisturized. But also, one of the most frequently asked questions I get is, how do you grow your natural nails? And believe it or not, cuticle oil helps grow your natural nails because when you apply it and massage it in, you're actually increasing blood flow and circulation around the matrix of your nail, which is the root of the nail, and it promotes nail growth. So helps two ways that way.
I'm gonna get my cuticle oil right after this.
She's like, BRB. So this is our final look. Like a crisscross candy cane look. This is a little bit more hand painted, but I'll show you it's still really easy to do. What I've started off with is a nail tip prepped with our gel color base coat. And then I'm going to use one of my favorite nude shades. This is Bubble Bath. This is OPI's iconic sheer pink, and it was inspired by one of her co-founders, Susie White Fishman, favorite form of self-care, which is taking a bubble bath. So now, after our curing one coat of gel color base coat, I am going to add a thin coat of bubble bath, and as you can see, it is super, super sheer. I love this shade. Also, when I'm doing negative space nail art on clients, this also, for me, I feel like it works as like a BB cream for nail because it helps hide any imperfections on the natural nail plate. Love, love, love this shade. So just curing that.
Are we doing a flash cure or a full cure?
I do want this to be my base shade, and I am going to put a second coat. So always important to do a full 30-second cure. But once you do, here's actually a good side-by-side. Earlier I was talking about how you can do a sheer thin coat of bubble bath as like a correcting color for natural nails that have some imperfections. This is one coat. As you can see, it's super sheer, but this is 2 coats of bubble bath. So once you add that second coat, you get that really pretty pink color. So for this look, I want a little bit more opacity, so we're going with the 2 coats of bubble bath. Next, what I'm going to do is take my lint-free white and some NAS. And as mentioned earlier, I'm doing that pro tip of removing that inhibition layer because we are going to be doing some line work. Okay. And now I'm taking my same palette and using Ready for the Holidays as well as my detail brush. And again, going to start loading it here. And now I'm going to paint my first candy cane. Essentially, we're doing an X, but then adding some hooks at the top to represent those candy canes. But we're going to start with the first hook first, and we want to keep this a little bit slanted. Now, because this is gel color, I can continue to fill it to refine the lines. I'm just focusing here on painting that hook, making sure I'm in frame. Okay, pretty happy with that. I'm just gonna flash cure it to lock it in place. And right now I'm just kind of setting the, kind of like the framework of where I'm gonna, of my placement. So even though the candy cane's not super crisp and sharp, I can always go back and just refine it. I'm just gonna continue on by adding that other candy cane and making an X, and then adding that hook. And now I'm just gonna fill the rest and refine it. Okay, cool. I'm super happy with these, and they look pretty opaque, which I'm really happy about. That was just one coat, didn't need to add a second coater. And because I am gonna add a little bit of detail on this, I'm gonna do a full 30-second cure.
Awesome. So while we're waiting for that to cure, I wanna let you know, Sig, I love, my favorite part so far is that you have used that same palette for all 3 of your looks, and you have really been able to be resourceful. We're not wasting any product. You're not having to add any additional, dollops of our gel color, because gel color has to cure. So we're not dealing with any evaporation. So you're really getting a lot of usage out of your shades so far.
Yeah, what I made sure is just make sure that you have enough. Make sure you have enough color on your palette for the entire service, and I think that's going to help along the way to ensure that you don't have any product waste. So now all I'm going to do is just add some really tiny details to this candy cane, and just kind of quickly swiping some alpine snow throughout. And I'm actually just going to cure this for about 15 seconds.
Why only 15 seconds, Sig?
I'm only going to do 15 seconds because I'm actually going to add more detail. I'm going to add a little bit of gold ribbons to the look. And where I'm placing the gold, I am not touching the white or the red. So whatever gold I'm adding, once I finish with this, I'll still get a full cure afterward. So just saving a little bit of time if this was a true client. So really easy swipes of some gold, and then now I can do a full 30-second cure.
The finishing touches, Sig, of using that gold slays me really brings together the entire nail art look together.
Oh, good. I'm happy to hear that. Sometimes, like you said earlier with the glitter, you just want to add a little bit of highlights, a little bit of pop of something else, and I think that's what I was able to achieve with this gold slays me. So then after that, all I would need to do is apply a coat of gel colored top. Again, making sure to cap the free edge. Nice and glossy. And cure for 30 seconds. And then here are our final looks. Everything from a dotted cure candy cane, some line work. This would be really great for an accent nail or some detail candy cane look as well. I hope you guys found my tutorials helpful for the holiday season. These were pretty quick and easy to execute, with hope that you can take on as much clients as possible before the holiday break and make some extra cash.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Thank you for joining Sigourney Nunez and Darlene Cedapan here today with you live on CosmoProf's Facebook page. I hope you guys loved all of the looks, and thank you, Sig, for your time, for showing us and giving us all of your tips.
Thank you. Happy holidays.